Okay. Hi, this is Ice Blue 333. Currently, it is November the 15th, 2025. Okay, so a lot of stuff has happened. I did say that on November 13th, 2025, I said that Bill Clinton has progressed, Moon will trine his progressed ascendant. And apparently, what happened on that day was the government came back open, and also around this time, I believe on the 12th, which is also the same day that transiting retrograde Mercury, it conjoined transiting Mars. Virginia Dufresne, she came back up inside of the news, and it came out that first it seems like the Democrats they sent out this email that was apparently between someone and Jeffrey Epstein, and it was apparently the Democrats they posted this email with a redacted name, but it later turned out to be Virginia Dufresne, so it pretty much exonerated Donald Trump. But also, let's see here. I think the Republicans they released 20,000 emails or whatever, and so yeah, I think there was also some email in reference to Hillary Clinton. That she had some kind of she reportedly had some affair with some guy. I don't know what his name is. I think it's Victor Shaw. I'm not sure. Let me pause for a second to make sure. Let me pause. Okay, so no, I was wrong. His name was Vince Foster. And reportedly he died in, like, I believe 1993 or 1999. Let me double check that too, because so much stuff is happening, and plus I found something else out when I was looking at these, well, getting information in regards to these tarot cards, and it led me to some Bible verses and revelations and the rapture and all this other stuff. Whatever. There's been a lot of signs inside of the sky that said a lot of things in regards to basically, I guess, upcoming events. I mean, there was a man who came out and said that the rapture was supposed to be on September the 23rd or the 24th, 2025, and then he changed the date to October, I believe, 7th or 8th, or something like that. And so he said that the rapture has happened, and you know that this is around the time that Charlie Kirk, his funeral happened, and etc. But not only that, I looked into some other stuff regarding the sign of the Well, let me pause for a second. Let me, because I'm moving too far ahead. I'm kind of extremely flustered right now because I'm like, whoa. Anyway, let me pause. Okay, so I'm back. I'm definitely gonna take a drink. So apparently, inside of the emails from I believe Epstein or whatever that was released, it came out that there was one email that said that, Jesus Christ, let me pull it up real quick. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so the email says, well, this is from AF Post on, I believe, Twitter. Jeffrey Epstein claimed that Hillary Clinton has a sexual relationship with former attorney and White House counsel Vince Foster. Foster committed suicide in 1993, not 1999. Sorry, I'm completely like flustered right now because of all this other information regarding like the rapture and these biblical verses and stuff like that. So anyway, let me pause another second because it's just, I'm sorry. Okay, so I just want to go down my notes. So anyway, these 20,000 emails that the Republicans released after the Democrats released that one email regarding the redacted name, who turned out to be Virginia Dufresne, the redacted name from the email with the redacted name that when they tried to smear Donald Trump, they released the unredacted email, and pretty much it exonerated Donald Trump. Anyway, moving on. I hope this doesn't sound. This is 4 minutes in. Anyway, additionally, the government is now open as some Democrats voted for the Clean CR bill, the same bill that they proposed all the way back, I believe, when its shutdown started. So, anyway, but this bill expires on January 20th, 2026. Additionally, Eric farted, or Eric swallows well, or Eric Swalwell. Eric's wow. Eric, he was apparently he had charges brought up against him regarding mortgage fraud around this time. Also, there's an aurora that came that stretched across the United States. This is nothing that had me freaked out because I'm like, these celestial events that have happened in regard just this period of time. Like we haven't had major celestial events like this. I don't think ever inside the United States. Like there's a let me see if I can find that the verbiage of this. Okay. So on September 23rd, 2017, there was apparently the Revelation 12 sign inside of the sky. And I believe it reads, "And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and was crying out in birth pains and the agony of giving birth." Revelation 12, 1 through 2. And I believe there's another verse that goes with this too about a dragon trying to swallow the child or whatever, eat the child. But apparently this sign happened in the heavens on September 23rd, 2017, and this is during Donald Trump's presidency. And now we're having aurora borealis flash across the sky. We had another major event with the eclipses that went across the sky. There was one eclipse that happened on. Let me pause for a second. So the first eclipse that went across the United States, it happened on August 21st, 2017. And this was 1 month before the Revelation 12 sign. And like I said in my previous video, that these eclipses that happened on August 21st, 2017 and April 8th, 2024, they were like the sign of Jonah. Because I think the first eclipse, it went through I think a town called Salem or whatever. And then the second one, it went through several states that had a city named Nineveh. It was like the sign of Jonah. And this is all these signs happened during the 2024 president. Joe Biden was the president back then, but Donald Trump was rerunning for presidential office, whatever. But these are all. It's just weird. It's just weird. And I mean, I saw them, but it's like when I found out that this man he had he made a prophecy about the rapture happening on September 24th or September 23rd, 2025, or September 24th, 2025. It kind of I found this out later on, and pretty much this is around the time that Charlie Kirk his funeral happened, and Donald Trump had to attend that. And they said that pretty much. I was watching this other preacher. I don't have his name right now, so let me pull that up too. It's so much information, and I'm probably deviating from my main astrological lore, but this is kind of important. I'm like, this is why I'm just so flustered. So I'm trying to throw everything at you at once. Hopefully I don't look too crazy. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I don't know why I stopped there. I hope I'm back to where I was, but it's the preacher's man. His name is Robert Breaker 3, and he has this video that explains pretty much all these signs that are happening inside of the sky. And I'm like, what the world? And so it was two videos that stood out to me. They were like over an hour long, or hour and 20 minutes long. One was like 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the other was like 1 hour and 30 minutes. But he talked about a man who was almost assassinated, that is assassinated, but he comes back alive. And that his right eye will be darkened, and something will happen to his right hand as well. And so it freaked me out because Donald Trump, he was shot in the ear, but the right side of his face was covered in blood. I'm not saying that Donald Trump's the Antichrist. I'm just saying, so it freaked me out. And then plus I have this quote talking about the biblical thing or whatever. I said PS, I did say biblical. And then here we are looking at, first the tarot cards brought me to this preacher man. And now here I am, I'm like, the rapture. Then anyway. So it freaked me out. It freaked me out. And I got some family drama going on here. So it's like, anyway, hopefully they don't interrupt me again. But let's see here. So these celestial events, they're freaking me out. This is all happening while Donald Trump is president, and this never happened before, I don't think. So let's see here. So let's see. Additionally, let me keep on moving. So Donald Trump tried to push for 50-year mortgage option, and everybody rebelled against that. And he also Let's see here. Let me pause for a second. Okay, and also Donald Trump, he came out and reportedly said that the United States of America does not have any talented workers here, and that we need H-1Bs and 600,000 visas for Chinese students. And that upset a lot of people. So let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. But mostly important to me, Donald Trump, he didn't add it, but except apparently I think some Republicans or maybe Democrats, they added additional provisions to the Clean CR bill that effectively banned all THC products, killing the so-called loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill that several businesses owners invested in. Let me pause for a second. So they had me up in arms. Pretty much, the new ban outlaws hemp products containing more than 0.4 milligrams of total THC per container. And keep in mind, a typical hemp gummy or beverage contains 2.5 to 10 milligrams of D9 THC, which exceeds the total THC limit that they proposed. And I think you have like 1 year for this ban to go into effect. Let me see. Let me pause another second. Now, keep in mind, people use cannabis for more than just getting high. I mean, it's used for medicine. People use it for ADHD management, depression management, weight and metabolism management. So, yeah. But I mean, I guess I was wondering why the future astrology looks so crazy. And I guess I see why now. With Pluto transiting Aquarius and with Uranus transiting Gemini, basically how people revolt, it's gonna drastically change. Like as Pluto left the sign Capricorn, it destroyed pretty much how the government and systems and their control worked. And so now, looking at Pluto going into Aquarius, it's going to destroy and change the way that people revolt and rebel. Either they could be restricted, or they can just go insane. That's not to also forget that transiting Uranus is going to change signs into Cancer as well before Pluto goes into Pisces. And when transiting Pluto goes into Pisces, which is a long time from now, I believe it's like in 2040 something. But anyway, the point is that transiting Uranus is going to oppose Pluto from Virgo. And so that's pretty much telling me that there's not going to be any more secrets. So there's going to be like a period of time where people just revolt, and then things are going to just get more so in a realm of like religion, peacefulness, and stuff like that. But all secrets will be revealed. So as Pluto transits Pisces or whatever, secrets are going to just become revealed, and that's what 2044, I think. So anyway, that's if we're still here because the Rapture situation. And they said, and this man said Jesus was coming back around 2032. So I think his name was Jacob. Let me pause for a second to get the name of the twins. They have a show. Let me pause. Okay, so no, the man's name, his name wasn't Jacob. His name was Mr. Joshua, and he basically made he said that the rapture would happen around, I believe, September the 23rd or the 24th, 2025, or October 7th, 6th to 7th, 2025. And it was on the Cent Twins TV channel, YouTube channel. So Cent as CENT TWINZ TV YouTube channel. So let me pause for a second. But keep in mind, he said that was going to be the beginning of things, and they're going to stretch out all the way into 2032. So he said you need to be ready, pretty much now. Anyway, so I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at all the astrology as well too, and I'm like, wow, everything is just pretty much lining up. I'm probably talking in circles because I have a situation going on outside out here, a family situation going on out there, and it's like, anyway, and a situation is going on inside of here too. So hopefully I don't look as crazy and as insane as I think I do. Let me pause on a second. Okay, another thing that I forgot to say was that pretty much in regards to the reopening of the government or whatever, regarding the Clean CR bill or the government funding bill, it also included provisions that would give lawmakers who had their cell phones spied on by the previous administration, it gives them a chance to get $500,000 for each instance that their cell phones were tapped by the previous administration, which will also which would take away from tax-paying citizens. However, at first when I heard this, I was like, it upset me. But the thing about it is that if the money's being used to expose what was done by the previous administration, then I mean, I kind of see how that is needed. Anyway, so again, I hope I don't look too crazy, and I hope I'm not going back and forth. Like, I hope I'm not like skipping everywhere, because it's like there is so much stuff going on here. Let's see here. Now, my thing in regards to just them adding a provision to the bill, trying to block weed, the loophole in regards to the 2018 Farm Bill in weed and hemp and marijuana, and also its role to reschedulization. Like, pretty much, I'm looking at the astrology for the future, and like I said, Donald Trump is not going to be happy about the midterm elections. And so I'm just looking at him like, you're the Republicans and probably some of the Democrats too. They added this to the bill, and it's like they want people to go back and forth in regards to just arguing. Let me pause for a second. Somebody's yelling at them. But my point, hopefully I'm not like out of sorts again. But in my opinion, the Republicans don't have anything to stand on. A lot of people voted for them because of the reschedule, because of the hopes of the rescheduling of marijuana. Also, I'm not saying that people are not against the Christianity and all this other stuff, whatever. People are for Christianity, but it's said they don't want everything to be for Christianity. I'm looking at Katie Britt, who she seems to have gotten everything she wanted from Alabama, in regards to Alabama, in regards to like the parenting and the kids, something in regards to infertility or whatever. Trump signed, I think, a bill or something in regards to that. And I'm like, nobody really cares how people can't afford kids. I'm not going to have no kids myself because of my situation, but still, people can't afford kids. So that's not what people care about. That's not what the general population care about. And then you have these Christians, they're trying to put age limits on online porn or whatever. And me as a kid, and me watching other kids when I was a kid, don't take that the fucking wrong way. But if I want to watch porn, I want to watch porn with age restrictions or not. So I'm like, that doesn't change anything. People are gonna do what they want to do. So you're pretty much banning hemp products. Which, let me remind you that a black boy was killed because apparently a police officer smelled hemp in his car, but at the time hemp was legal at the time. And that was on June 23rd, 2025, and the bill that Andy Witt proposed and had K already signed, it didn't go into effect until July 1st, 2025. But the boy was killed on June 23rd, 2025, and also on the same day, Aaliyah, or the Alabama Police Department or whatever, I forgot how you really say it, but it's they apparently were raiding shops around that time as well too. Even though the shops were in full compliance and it was before the deadline date of July 1st, 2025, and they were trying to make their money. The money back that they invested in regards to Donald Trump and his 2018 Farm Bill. So that's not just it. Like people, the general population, they care about affordable groceries and bills and affordable utilities, and more importantly, ways to pay off their students' loans. No one cares about the Mexicans doing the laborious jobs that most people don't even want and refuse to do. But for some reason, these Mexicans, they love doing that job for some cultural reason, apparently. And for Donald Trump to say that the United States doesn't have talented workers here, It's because of higher education has become a financial trap. Just like that 50-year mortgage loan that he proposed, it's a trap. Nobody's gonna ever be able to pay that off, and so it's a permanent financial trap. And we don't have kids from productive backgrounds because they can't afford them, and they really have more stuff to do, like work at a job that can help them support their overpriced bills and food and hobbies, and yet try to get out of a financial rut and stay out of a financial rut. Not everyone is a Christian fanatic. Yes, people believe in God, but there's other stuff that we need to do too. They have what they're meant to do in pretty much this life. People do have when I look at astrology, people have their own fate. They have their own things that they must do before they die. And so yes, we all believe in God and Christ and Jesus, but we have things that we have to do instead of just focusing on hallelujah God and just stand inside of church. Yes, we want to be inside of church, but we have stuff that we have to do too. Let's see here. And so what it boils down to is that I'm like, Donald Trump and his current policies, they just basically do the same thing that the previous administration has done, and that's basically kick the can down the road, and they offer nothing. And so I'm looking at all these deals that Donald Trump is signing with these other countries all around the world, and see if when Donald Trump loses the midterm elections or whatever, pretty much, or when he is put at a disadvantage from the midterm elections or whatever, pretty much those deals could fall through. And and I'll say this again, Joe Biden, he fucked up everything when he pretty much ousted Russia from the banks and from the Swiss banks too. And I'm like, so if having the world look at that, it basically shows. Let me pause things. I hear some more music. Let me pause for a second. I don't know why I stopped at, but what I'm saying is that pretty much with all these deals that Donald Trump signed with all these foreign countries or whatever, they can all fall through because of people's faith in regards to just the United States in general. And so I'm looking back at Joe Biden and what he did in regards to Russia. And then so if pretty much the people stop supporting Donald Trump in regards to the midterm elections, that's an issue. As a matter of fact, it's a problem. So anyway, so I guess I'll move on to just more complaints. So I'm just saying we should have a cure for cancer by now. We should have a cure for AIDS by now. And yet everyone in power is playing politics, the Democrats and the Republicans. And so that's why I said I see now why pretty much in the future everything's just gonna be craziness and chaos. Because we don't have good leaders. We have people that they're just kicking stuff down the road, or just we're gonna step and push the pendulum this way, and then it pretty much is gonna go this way, roughly 2 to 4 years from now. Then it's just doing the same thing, and it's like nothing is concrete. And so, yeah. So let's see here. These are a lot of notes, and I mean, I'm just with this family drama and stuff going on right here. I'm like. But and I'm also looking at I was saying the pendulum jump going from this way to another way to another. I'm looking back at when the emails were released in regards to the Democrats talking about Virginia. They were saying that there was an Epstein victim that Donald Trump probably did something with or whatever, or he knew about the girls or whatever, and then it turned out to be and then the Republicans that released the other files saying, oh yes, it's actually Virginia Frey whose name was redacted. It was like a setup. It was more politics. I'm tired of the politics. I mean, like I said, AIDS should be cured by now. Cancer should be cured by now. Hemp, weed, marijuana should be legalized by now. Um, Healthcare should be manageable by now. People should be living inside of a state of abundance. And people should have more hope. They should be able to afford things and have a happier life. But with how things are going, nothing. Like people, we don't. If you're gonna revolt or fight for something, I mean, at least fight for something that and try to get concrete results. Like so far, the only thing that's happening is people are just going back and forth, and there is no result. There is nothing in my hands. There's nothing to show for it. I need something to show for it. I need something here. Like when you work, if you don't want to work to just keep on just working. I want to see something from my work. Results. And so I hope I'm not going like everywhere because I'm like, there is so much shit going on right now. but they're gone now, but I'm like, who knows? And then plus there's the situation going inside here with flies or whatever flying around inside of here. You probably can hear them, you probably can't hear them. It's like well, just one just zip by. It's like someone's just telling me like this is gonna be a bad day. This all started yesterday with just a flurry of flies inside here. I don't know how they got inside here. Anyway, so but I was watching this video yesterday, and I mean with the provision inside of the clean CR bill they made for hemp / marijuana / weed or whatever, it and regarding the people who invested inside the 2018 Farm Bill, it's like a loss of trust. And see, when people stop caring, they stop paying attention. Because I'm done basically. I don't give a shit about what's coming up. I don't plan on voting inside of 2026, and I really don't at this point in time. I right now I don't plan on voting in 2028. So well, something's popped inside of it, so maybe I may, but because things might get so bad. Because oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the biggest thing of it all. So on July 4th, 2026, there's going to be an alignment in the sky. Transiting Uranus is going to conjoin transiting Mars. Well, transiting Mars is going to conjoin transiting Uranus inside of the sign of Gemini. And that coincides with civil wars in regards to the United States. So July 4th, 2026 is going to be a big event. And like I already said in regards to Bill Clinton, he has the same astrology happening inside of his chart as the Monica Lewinsky scandal that happened all the way back in 1998 and 1999. So July 4th, 2026 should be a huge event regarding something. Let's see here. But so I said, so this provision inside of this clean CR bill or whatever, it brings loss of trust. When people stop caring, they stop paying attention. And when they stop paying attention, they stop voting. And that's it. The Democrats win, or some other dictator or whatever wins by default. And it's not because they are better in any way. No, it's because the competition made zero differences in the average person's life. And so I'm looking at Zoran Mondami or whatever, and pretty much all the stuff that Donald Trump has done and the Republicans have done, it's great and all for 1/10 of the things that people voted for. But here we are. The things that reschedule marijuana seems like it's not going to happen. Some kind of relief in regards to student debt, utilities, food prices, gas price, just basic, the general things. They're not. I don't give a shit about like what Christianity and all. I mean, I care. Yes, it's 1/10 of the things that I care about. I do definitely care about getting the LGBTQ XYZ plus N13 whatever bullshit out of classrooms and schools. Yes, I do care about that. And if you want to put the 10 Commandments inside of schools, yes, hallelujah. Get the LGBT shit out of these classrooms, because children, they're so malleable, and it's messing with their futures. And so the general population of the United States were raised in regards to Christianity. And so you see the structure that we have right now because of the foundation of Christianity. So I'm not saying F Christianity. No. Yes, Christianity. The issue is that that's not everything. We have a student loan debt crisis. We have the price of food that's up to there's so much more than just Christianity. And deporting Mexicans. So I'm like, this one, I'm like, I don't care anymore about this Epstein stuff or whatever. I see how it's gonna end. Bill Clinton, for some reason, is gonna still get lucky. And the Democrats are gonna still get lucky. And they're gonna probably most likely beat out the Republicans during the midterm elections. This is just all politics, and it's kind of obvious. But whatever. I think Donald Trump's trying to exonerate himself and say that, oh, it wasn't me this entire time, it was them. But it's like, at this point, I don't care. I don't. Fix the underlying issue. The issue that every other president and politician has avoided. Do something different. We want change with results. Results. I want something inside of my hand. I mean, not just something temporary. Concrete results, positive results, and not just a back and forth pendulum results. So, let's see what else. And I mean, in the future, the Democrats, they could easily say that, oh, Donald Trump waited so long to release the Epstein files because he saw that it was a political hedge. But again, like I said, Donald Trump's not gonna be happy about the midterm elections. But that's what they could say. They could say that, oh, that's why Donald Trump waited so long to release the files, because he let those victims suffer so long, so much longer than they had to, when he could have just released them. These bitches will believe anything these days. But like I said, the Republicans, well, people should rally around Donald Trump after the midterm elections. So let's see here. Is that everything? So, like I said, I was looking at this man. His name, his YouTube channel was let me pause for a second to just get the correct name. So his YouTube channel, its name is Robert Breaker 3. He has 780,000 subscribers and 2.3 thousand videos for now. So I'm like, but what he said in regards to his Revelation 12, 1 through Revelation 12, I think dash 17 video, it scared me. And then he made another video after that video. I forgot what it was called. It was called like the Antichrist or whatever, or the Mark of the Beast. And it threw me for a loop, because I'm like, I'm looking at Donald Trump, and he said there was a Bible verse that said that the Antichrist, how do you know it's the Antichrist? He said that his right eye will be darkened and his right hand will be withered or something like that. And I'm like, I'm looking at the failed assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and like pretty much his face, his right side of his face got covered in blood because he was shot inside of his ear. And he said that he basically, this man said that the Antichrist would be assassinated, but he would come back alive, and it would be like a wonder, and people would gather around. I'm like, and this man, he said inside his video, he said that if somebody does that inside the future, a leader, he said run. I'm like, so anyway, it's inside of his mark. I have to find that video. Let me pause for a second. Hopefully I can find it. It was made like 2 years ago. So let me pause. Okay, I don't know where I stopped at because something else happened. So anyway, the point, I think I stopped. The most important thing is in regards to this man. I guess he's a preacher. His name is Robert Breaker 3. And so he posted a prophecy in regards to And the name of this YouTube video is called Revelation 12, 1 to 17. The Revelation 12 sign and more. And this one video freaked me out the first time. But the second video, and let me pause. Pretty much, the Revelation 12, 1 to 17, the Revelation 12 sign and more was made on March 5th, 2023. And so he made another video called Revelation 13, 1 to 18, the Antichrist and the Mark of the Beast. And that was made on March 13th, 2023. And keep in mind, this was made before Donald Trump, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. This was during Joe Biden's presidency. And so I'm like, he said all this stuff in regards to the eyes darkened and the hand is withered or weak or whatever. And so in reference to the Antichrist, I'm like, all I can say is you can't worship no man. I hope Donald Trump is not the Antichrist or whatever. You can't worship no man. You can only worship God himself. You only just pretty much read your Bible. I mean, yes, I do my astrology, and I'm learning about the tarot cards. I want to learn about everything else I can learn about because I need to know about it. Because I'm not going to just listen to Joe Smo preacher here, there, and there, and pretty much they saying God this and God this and that and doing like God knows what else inside of the dark. Because I've been to church, I've seen a preacher and a deacon saying one thing and doing the whole damn opposite. So if God got something to show me, he better show me his damn fucking self. So that's that. Anyway, so I'm gonna look at everything, and I'm gonna look at everything, and I'm gonna sup and just not anyway, I want to do my own thing, and I want to do the best I can in regards to my beliefs and my faith. And you can do what you can do, and what they say, only God can judge. And in my opinion, I saw this Charlie's Angels movie. What was it, Charlie's Angels 2? Not the third one. That was shit, in my opinion. But Charlie's Angels 2. There's this man, I think he had a tattoo on his back, and it said, "Only God will." Keyword will. Only God will judge me. Not you, or you. Only God himself will judge me. So I want to do whatever I can do. Pretty much, and you can't tell me that. I was watching a video about a third Mason. And basically, he was spewing out all this stuff about these Masons or whatever. But in the end, he said pretty much, the only book, I'm paraphrasing, I can't say it exactly how he said it, but it's the book that seemingly confused him was the book of Job, where he was just sick so long because God allowed the devil to do what the devil wanted to do to him, to make Job blaspheme God. And God was like, no, that's my disciple right there. Go ahead, do it. Test him. And the devil threw everything at him, but he said, God said, just don't kill him. And they took everything away from Job. And so the devil took everything away from Job. And when God said, okay, that's it, I told you he would not break. That is my disciple. I think God in the end gave him what, threefold what the devil took away from him. So yeah. So I think I want to go down my astrology list for one more time in regards to Bill Clinton and his progressions or whatever. And I'll call it a day. This has been a stressful couple of days and really a stressful week. Because I'm like, yeah, family drama. And it's going to get worse because I know in the future that my astrology shows that something bad is going to happen. But it is what it is. I had to get this video done today because the astrology showed that this was like a big day or whatever. And then plus to get hit, I just got hit by that information. Oh God, I'm not even done. It's so much stuff. Let me pause for a second. Okay, since I'm not done, pretty much let me expound on that third degree Mason or whatever. Basically, I believe he converted to Christianity because he said that a lot of those people that were at the third they were at the highest of the Masonic order or whatever, they were what doing like sexual stuff and stuff like that and all kinds of crazy stuff. But pretty much my point was is that God can use the devil himself to just to prove a point. So let me pause for another second. And also, I just need to add that, do I believe that Donald Trump is the Antichrist or whatever? I mean, I don't know. All I know is that all I can say is that pretty much be careful of let me pause a second. I can't think of the right word. Okay, but I guess my point was just pretty much be careful of putting people on these pedestals because you don't ever really know. Maybe they are sent by God and maybe they're not. And that's just that. And you know what? Since God wills everything, maybe they are sent by God, but you don't know what they're here for. Maybe that because I mean, pretty much, God already said that the rapture is going to happen, so He already knows what He's going to do, and and it will be done. But because even looking at astrology, pretty much I've seen stuff that was supposed to happen, and I saw it clear as day, and I was like, no, I want to avoid this stuff. I want to stay inside the house all day, and I'm not going to do this, and that. And then pretty much for some reason I had to go outside and do something, and then something happened in regards to what the event was supposed to happen, and it happened. You couldn't stop it. And even if I didn't see it happen, I came out of the house the next day and it happened, or it had happened. That's just that I wasn't there for it. So whatever it is God's will, it will be done, whether you want it to happen or not. If God has pretty much said that this is going to happen, you bet your ass is going to happen. You bet your ass is going to happen. Anyway, I'm trying to see what. Okay, so the thing that I missed, I did go over some of this, but I'm like, and this stuff is just. Anyway, it's a lot of information. So I'm gonna try to go down this list of stuff that is not ordered in any kind of damn way. But there's just a lot of prophecies that have happened since Donald Trump's presidential situational term or whatever. Like I'm like shit. So let me start with at the top because I wrote this at the top because I'm like, so apparently Saint Malachi, who apparently was some kind of pope or whatever, he said the 112th pope would be the end of the world. And I think the last pope was Pope Francis. And I think an American pope replaced him. Let me pause for a second to make sure that this law is correct. So let me pause. So yeah, Pope Leo the 14th, maybe. He replaced Pope Francis or whatever, and his papacy began on May 8th, 2025. Pope Francis, he died on April 21st, 2025. You know what's funny? April 21st, I believe, is Hitler's birthday. Really enough. And he was the head of the Catholic Church. Let me pause for a second to make sure that was Hitler's birthday. Okay, so Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889. So that was one day before the Pope Francis was passed away or whatever. And also Pope Leo the 14th is apparently the first American Pope or United States Pope from the United States of America. But pretty much I think it's reported that Saint Malachi, he said that I think he was a prophet or whatever. He had a prophecy that said that the 112th Pope would be the end of the world. And I think Pope Francis was the 112th Pope. And an American Pope replaced him. So, let's see here. Now, there was an eclipse across the United States of America on August 21st, 2017. And this was 33 days, my number, 33, before the September 23rd, 2017 sign of Revelation. That happened on September 23rd, 2017. And apparently it only happens once every 7,000 years. And it's a 2,000-year-old prophecy. Let me pause for a second. So maybe it's a 2,000-year-old prophecy, but apparently it happens once every 7,000 years. Anyway, another thing that I was thinking about is that maybe could COVID-19 have been the rapture? Anyway, and people getting those vaccines, maybe that was the what do you call it, the mark of the beast or whatever. Anyway, so again, the United States had an eclipse that went across the United States on August 21st, 2017. And pretty much, I think they said it hit a town called Salem or whatever. I don't know where it was at, but anyway, moving on. So another eclipse happened on April 8th, 2024, and they went through several states several cities called Nineveh. I think it went through 9 cities called Nineveh. You have to look more into it because I just scanned some of this stuff because I was so freaked out about Jesus Christ. Let me pause for a second. But I was so freaked out about Robert Breaker III's prophecy. Well, not prophecy. Him basically detailing everything into one video. It was so profound that it just shook me. I was like, I didn't give me a Bible because I got tarot cards without a Bible. Anyway, it shook me to my core. Anyway, so where do I stop at? So I did say that on July 4th, 2026, transiting Mars will conjoin transiting Uranus, and that could lead to some kind of civil strife or civil war. And I did say that on a man made a prophecy on the Cent Twins channel, YouTube channel, or CENT TWINZ TV channel on YouTube. He said that the 23rd or the 24th of September 2025 that will be the time of the rapture. But he later came back and said that because of the Julian calendar or whatever, it could be off by 15 days, so it could happen on October 7th or 8th of October 2025. And he said it's going to be during the Feast of Trumpets. But he also said that by June 2026, the chaos/destruction, there will be no World Cup in 2026. There will be 7 years of tribulation for those left on Earth. The 15th of September 2032, he said on the 15th of September 2032, Jesus will return to Earth as King. So just mark that inside your calendars if you're watching this video or whatever. He said that he is one of God's last prophets/arrows inside of his quiver as a warning. And he said he stands by his word. So is that everything? And I already told you that the sign of Revelation happened on the sign of Revelation 12 through 1 that happened on September 23rd, 2017. It's funny. I forgot about this. Pretty much in the sky, pretty much on September 23rd, 2017, the fixed stars that were shown inside of this situational constellation or whatever, it was Regulus, and it was also Spica. So Regulus is Donald Trump's ascendant is conjunct the fixed star Regulus, and that means king or prince or whatever. That's why I'm like, maybe he's not the Antichrist or whatever, because it's marked inside of the heavens. I would more so expect for for a person's ascendant to be inside of some demonic sign to be the Antichrist. But also Spica, in regards to because let me stop. Regulus is located inside of the constellation of Leo, and it means king. Donald Trump is a king. No matter what you say, do, or whatever, you wonder why you keep on getting fucked over by karma because you're trying to take something away from a king. It's because he's fated to have what he has. Don't fuck with a fixed star. Regulus, he's a king. Leave it at that. As a matter of fact, Drake. I was watching one of his his a video in regards to him last night, as a matter of fact. And if his birth time is correct, he also has his ascendant conjunctive fixed star Regulus. And so again, it means king or prince or almighty prince or whatever. Anyway, so that's one of the fixed stars that's located inside this constellation or situation. But like I said, Spica, it's constantly it's inside of the sign Virgo, and Virgo is the woman that's giving birth to the Revelation 12, the Revelation 12 whatever situation. And I think the thing that's being given birth is Jupiter, something is being born. And so apparently Charlie Kirk, his son, is conjunct the fixed star Spica, but also my ascendant is conjunct the fixed star Spica, and Spica just means the bright one, or also the unarmed one, and also the high priestess or the oracle. So go figure. So what is this Jupiter that's coming out of this, the womb of Virgo? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe somebody was born around that time. I don't know. But September 23rd, 2017. So is that everything? Before I go down the list of hopefully I don't sound too crazy or out of sorts, because there's so much stuff that's going on. You have flies flying around the house trying to prevent me from making this video. You have family chaos that's happening. That's Jesus. And I'm just like, why now? Of all the times. And I also know that pretty much in the future, like in my future, I have a bad event that's coming up around Thanksgiving or whatever. So I'm just like, what now? Like, so, but it's fated. It can't be changed. Like it's just like I was telling you. Like, looking at astrology, you cannot change what's going to happen. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. All you can do is just try to find a way to deal with it. That's why I say whatever is God's plan is God's plan. Somebody can come to me and say that, oh, astrology is evil and all this stuff, other stuff, whatever. God made it so that pretty much for me, I didn't have a choice but to learn what was going on inside going on in this situation, whatever. So you can call me evil, you can call me whatever else. I mean, I have other situations that that make that look like nothing, but anyway. My point is that pretty much don't ever put anybody on a pedestal. Put God in His Word first. Whatever God, that's what I always say. What is, because I didn't understand it before, but I understand it now. What is meant for you is meant for you. And people can tell you all kinds of this, and that. What is meant for you is meant for you. And you better just pay attention to what God gives you, and you better use it for what He has given you that gift for. So, because I mean, I had a friend. He kept telling me he was like, Chris, I mean, I spoke to you have a gift. That's a gift. And I'm doing stuff. I'm like, how did this happen? How did this happen? How did this happen? He's like, that's a gift. Better pay attention. So, I would never have become an astrologer if my life did not get so fucking bad that I didn't have a choice. I would not know all this stuff if the universe or God didn't put me inside a situation where I didn't have a choice. Right now, my life is shit. But it's like, it's for a higher purpose. This is for a higher meaning. So it's like I can't sit and complain. Because whenever I try to step and deviate from doing this, something bad happens to me. However, when somebody tries to take or tries to destroy this in regards to me or whatever, they get destroyed. They're just simply like, how is he able to do all this stuff and whatever? How is he able to get all this stuff, whatever? And I shouldn't have shit. And yet I'm able to just keep on moving. And they're just like going through hell, trying to fuck me over. And it's like, I'm just looking, I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh girl, she told me a while ago. She said that karma's a bigger bitch than I can ever be. Karma's a bigger bitch than I can ever be. I think she had an Indian background. She came from, I don't know what, but she was Indian, of course. She was, or Indian Asian. I don't know how you say that, but karma's a bigger bitch than I can ever be. You can try to mess me over, but if God has a plan for me, Nothing that you say, nothing you can do. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, because God said so. That was God's will, not yours, not what you thought, not what you hoped for, not. That was God's will. God gets the last word, not you. So as that reminds me of that song, it ain't over till it's over. Mary J. Blige, DJ Khaled, it ain't over until it's over. So, oh, what's that now? More shit. Let me pause for a second. Okay, well, I got interrupted again. But I'm gonna flash this card, Judgment, one more time. I'm not gonna read my lore because I'm burnt out on it. I'm just gonna get to pretty much the dates for Bill Clinton. So I've already told you that on November 13, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon trying his progressive Senate, and that should have been like the beginning of the impeachments for him. And apparently that's when the government was brought back open, and something else came out with the Virginia Defray. Oh, so I think I'll read from this one. So that's that. So apparently on, I don't have it written here. Apparently on November 28th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will oppose his natal Venus. And last time this happened was on June the 21st, 1998. And another thing is that I told you in a previous video a while ago, I don't know exactly the exact video, but I said that for Bill Clinton, his progressions are kind of reversed. I said that the same progressions that happen inside of his chart as the submission of the star report, it happens on January 17th, 2026. But except the progressions that hit in regards to the beginnings of the impeachment, they happened on November the 13th, 2025. And apparently that's when the government was brought back open. So maybe the next time we'll see something in regards to Bill Clinton is going to be on January the 16th. So let me go ahead and go down these progressions or whatever. So transiting Mercury will station from its retrograde motion on November 29th, 2025. I think also around this time, Chuck Schumer, he will have a progressive aspect of something around this time. I don't have that pulled up right now, and I really don't care. I'm kind of burnt out on everything. I thought, anyway. So for Bill Clinton, on November the 28th, right? His progressive moon will oppose his natal Venus, and the last time this happened was on June the 21st, 1998. I don't know if I said this already or not, but I'm going to say it now. Let's see here. On December 17th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressive moon will trine his natal Pluto. And the last time this happened, I think, was around the time of the submission of the star report as well. But the main date of the submission of the star report is going to be on January 17th, 2026, and that's when his progressed moon will sextile his progressed nodes. And that, again, the star report. Now, weirdly enough, the next day on January 18th, 2026, for transiting Mercury will conjoin transiting Mars inside the sky. Each time this transiting Mercury conjoin Mars or whatever, in regards to its retrograde motion and its stationary motions or whatever, and its forward movement, I'm sorry, it's an event came up with Virginia Defray. So on October 20th, 2025, that's when, well, October 21st was when Virginia Defray released her book Nobody's Girl. But around also the same time, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon opposed his natal Neptune. And also around the same time, Prince Andrew, he dropped his Duke of York title. So the event happened again on November 12th, 2025. And that's when the email came out about Donald Trump apparently knowing about the girls. And pretty much in that email, an Epstein victim's name was redacted, but it came out to be Virginia DeFrey. So I can only assume that on January 18th, 2026, when Transiting Mercury joins Transiting Mars, that an event with an Epstein victim, probably Virginia DeFrey, could come up again. So on January 24th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progress mode trying to progress Pluto. Again, as this also coincides with the 1998 release of the Star Report. On January 26, 2026, transit Neptune will enter the sign Aries. On February 3rd, 2026, transiting retrograde Uranus stations and goes direct. On February 12th, 2026, for Bill Clinton's progress moon with Quincunx's progress sun. It's like an ego boost for him. Like I said, the Democrats, they get lucky for some reason in regards to this whole debacle. Like I said, they could easily say that, oh, Donald Trump, he held these Epstein files back because he wanted to use it as a political advantage during the midterm elections or whatever. Just like they had the government shut down around during starting October 1st, I believe, 2025. And pretty much them not allowing the government to come back open until after the November 5th, 2025 elections. Just saying. So, where did I stop at? Transit Mercury will conjoin Transit Mars on April 20th, 2026. And again, that could deal with some stuff in regards to Epstein. Transiting Uranus will enter the sign Gemini finally on April 25th or 26th, 2026. So the last dates they're not the last dates, but the major dates to consider is going to be on May 4th, 2026. Bill Clinton, his progress moon will sextile his natal nodes. That's probably like the culmination of the whatever situation that's going on with him. I said it's an impeachment, but we will see. We will see. On May 16, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progress moon will conjoin his progress Mars. We will see what comes up on that day. On May 27, 2026, for Bill Clinton's progress Mercury will sextile his natal Mars. We will see what comes up with him on that day. So, I think that is it. Oh, apparently I missed the date. On December 17th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will trine his natal Pluto. And that could deal with something in regards to the release of the Star Report. Because I think around the same time, Donald Trump and Barron Trump, they have a progressed aspect to their natal sons or their progressed sons or whatever. So it's like an ego boost for them. So maybe something could I can't talk right. Maybe something could get revealed around December 17th, 2025 in regards to Bill Clinton. Okay. And yeah. Sorry if I seem to keep on going in and out in regards to my points and stuff like that. Hopefully it's more cohesive than I think it is, because it's like there's so much drama going on here. There's flies flying around here. There's family. There's debating a family situation, and another family member has me doing something else as well. So it's like there's so much stuff that's going on. So I try to go over it as much as I could. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for me. Let me go through a few notes to see if that's everything. But I believe that's it. That's it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this any better. So, okay, so I guess the point, though. Do I believe that Donald Trump is the Antichrist? I mean, whatever God's will is God's will. I hope not. And moreover, like, I don't think so. Because you have to think about what caused all this stuff. It's these evil people. These evil people lied on Donald Trump. These evil people, they killed Charlie Kirk, a person who pushed for Christianity. These evil people tried to kill Donald Trump, in my opinion. These evil people killed Charlie Kirk. So there is just no way to rectify this situation. And I guess it's the point. That's the point that God is trying to make himself. That he said what he said is going to happen. And his will be done. So the only thing you can do is just prepare. And hope for the best and do the best you can. Yeah. Because when I watched these prophecies and these people, that them going down the things that they have calculated and basically have, yeah. I'm just sitting back, I'm like, wow, this is scary. It's scary. So it's flies flying all around inside of here. Anyway, maybe it's another omen as well. That's it for now. I'm going to try to do a little more research now. Hopefully my next video will be more cohesive than this one. But I had to make a video today because the astrology showed that this was an important day to make a video. Even though the family situation is going on, the other family situation is going on, there's flies going on inside the houses. There wasn't a Aurora Borealis going around here or whatever that's shining inside the sky. It's like it's reminding me of the previous celestial events that happened inside the sky that they said was like rare. 7,000 years. It happens only 7,000 years. Once every 7,000 years. And so I'm just like, Jesus. And then looking at me getting these tarot cards or whatever. And like how things lined up for me to get these tarot cards. And see, these tarot cards led me to pretty much the scripture in regards to what's this man's name? Hold on, I can find him. Pause for a second. But by this man named Robert Breaker 3. And it's funny. He ends his fucking name with 3. My number. 3. 333. Ice Blue 333. So this is crazy. I don't know. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. In the name of the Lord, right? Because he sent me to do his will, right? So hopefully that's everything. I'm sitting here trying to hope that I got everything inside this one video. And hopefully I don't look as crazy hopefully I don't look as crazy as I think I look, because it's just been a crazy week. Honestly. It's been a crazy week. The sign of Jonah. The sign of Revelation 12. A man claiming to be the prophet, and everybody laughing at him or whatever, and pretty much his prophecy lined up with the funeral of Charlie Kirk. And also Donald Trump, him almost been assassinated and coming back, and it's the bullet only grazing his ear. Yet his right eye is darkened, and his right hand is darkened as well, covered in blood. It's a lot. It's a lot. It makes me want to doggone. I don't think I have a Bible inside this house. As a matter of fact, makes me want to buy a Bible. Anyway. Makes you also scared about the list I requested for Donald Trump. I'm like, look, I mean, I probably still will take all that Darwin stuff, the 13 million, and plus the other stuff or whatever. Like, look, I'm not getting no chips and no kind of symbols on put on me in regards to the mark of the beast. But anyway, oh yeah, I think I also said that Trump Jr. He would have a progression to Saturn around this time. I didn't see anything called with him, but I'm not really not looking anymore. I'm burnt out. When this CR when his clean CR bill went through, whatever, I just lost all interest inside of in this whole everything, because it's like I see why things are gonna go haywire in the future, and it's because pretty much the average person, they're not getting what they need in regards to just survival in general, regarding Trump's policies and what he's doing. I mean, okay, it's cool to no, it's not cool in my opinion, but still, it's cool to try to protect the country by deporting illegal people who are here illegally. They may be trying to cause harm to the United States, but there are more problems than that, and that's the issue. So, and maybe Donald Trump will figure that out in the future. After the midterm elections, we, everybody no everybody's not just a Christian fanatic. So, what time is it? So I think that's gonna be it for me. I probably end it right about